The following moments may contain explicit language.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
News team, assemble!
Oh my God! There it is, popping the top again. Did you do a? Oh, never mind. It's a Modelo. I thought I saw Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Uncanceled Culture, reporting live from the Gulf of Texas, Gulf of America. I'm sorry, Gulf of America.
We're gonna have to name it Gulf of Uncanceled Culture.
Well, according to Google, it's Gulf of America, so we're gonna have to go with that, right?
We're gonna have to go with that
Google
for now,
rules.
yeah.
I'm Porky.
The Louis.
You would have known he was here if he was chewing gum, but guess what?
The teacher made me toss
I
it.
made him throw it.
Teacher made me toss
We're-
it
we're-
before
we're-
class started.
We're doing our little recording at the beginning, and I was under here. And I look over, I'm like, ah!
He went like the teachers do. He went over there with a napkin. Spit it out.
No, I should have said, I hope you bought enough for everybody.
I was gonna do one of these.
Did you see that?
Save it for later.
Sabrina. Did you see that? He goes, I was gonna do one of these.
So Shot Girl Sabrina's here, but she's not here. She may hop on, but if we say something she doesn't agree with, but
Hey,
there might be.
Get seated.
So
She's gonna have to cue me though, because I have her on mute. But-
2 minutes into the episode,
Time
go
out.
raise your hand.
Time out. Oh my God, what is up, dude? How was your week? I'm sorry about the editing, man. It was Valentine's Day.
True.
Usually I'm editing on that day. Saturday, it appears that Saturday morning is going to be the day that we release it, but just happened to be a long weekend, so President's Day and such, hail to the king, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I released it late. Do y'all even share it? Y'all don't share
Oh, I
it?
do. I share.
Do you share it?
I do.
Cranky?
Yeah.
Cranky doesn't. I do. No, I know you do.
Yeah. I do.
I'm trying my best, people.
I got a list, and I usually just.
I'm
send them
trying
out.
my best. I get it on. I put it on TikTok. I'm getting more people that are actually commenting
Yeah.
because I did the thing with the Gulf of America thing, and there was a picture, whatever, and some guy's like, it's Gulf of Mexico. It's always gonna be Gulf of Mexico, and I don't think he knew where I was at, So I messaged him back. I was like, yeah, the orange guy. He's an asshole.
Well, I mean, it goes back to like the Washington football team and the Cleveland Guardians are always gonna be a certain team
Yeah.
to me.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
You know,
Yeah.
it ain't
I was gonna be the Indians.
It
I was gonna be the Redskins.
Indians. It was gonna be the Redskins. And I know some Redskins fans that are completely like, oh, they'll never be the Commanders to me. They'll always be the Redskins.
Well, and not only that, you think about the people that have the tattoos of the actual Redskin, and even let's even go further, man. There's people that are Native American and are like, dude, no, it needs to be the Redskins. Like
Yeah.
that needs to be the team name.
Yeah, so there was
There's
big
history
old,
behind
yeah,
it.
there was a big old thing, and I mean, not saying it's wrong. It's just how they felt, but they ended up changing it because they said, well, we're gonna have to, so they changed it. But it's like, there's other people that are gonna be like, well, they're always gonna be the yeah, even Native Americans are saying they should still be the Redskins.
Well, I'm wondering, do you think with and I'm just curious, do you think with the way things are happening and
The Spurs are gonna have to change their name.
no, I'm just wondering if it'll be like, no, go ahead and change them back. You know what I mean?
Can we get him to sign an executive order?
Yeah, that's what I'm
To bring-
thinking. Who knows? He might change it back to, hey, they can be called the Redskins again. They can be called the Indians again.
The Bullets.
The Bullets. Yeah. That's right, Washington.
Bullets. Oh man. Well,
they,
actually,
they went from the Bullets to what?
The Wizards.
the Wizard.
No, it was something else, wasn't it?
It was the.
It was the Bullets, and then it was something else, and then it became the Wizards.
If it was something else between the Bullets and Wizards, probably like freaking a week.
Well, you're the stat guy.
Yeah, we're
get
gonna have
your
to check
phone,
it out.
Get your phone out.
Oh, you know what? That happened. So you're talking about how was your week? So was it Friday?
What happened?
Babe, Friday, I think. We went to go do something. Got home, plugged the phone in, and she's supposed to. So my alarms are set, so she had work in the morning.
Right.
Well, my alarm didn't go off.
Bedroll.
My alarm didn't go off. And she's like, oh my goodness, I gotta go. And takes off. And I'm like, so I grab my phone and I realize I can't do anything on it. It's frozen. And I'm like, what's going on? So
iPhone, huh? iPhone? It's an iPhone?
Whatever. So I'm thinking.
Wait, I'm asking.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
an iPhone.
okay.
So then I'm trying to, hard reset. I'm trying everything. It doesn't do anything. And the last update that was on there was like at 4 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
So of course, nothing's working. The alarm didn't go off, whatever. And it didn't die until Monday morning. And when it died, I plugged it in, charged it, and it's working fine now. So I don't know what happened.
So it literally stuck.
It
and
just
you
got
couldn't
stuck.
do anything.
Yeah.
You couldn't restart it, so you had
Couldn't
to let
call
it die.
anybody, message anybody. I wasn't getting messages. I realized on Sunday that when I put my watch on, there were things starting to come through, but I
Right.
couldn't respond. I couldn't do
Right.
anything with it. So I was like, oh, well.
Well, I don't know. Should I say something or
Go
should I
ahead.
not say
Go
something?
ahead. Go ahead.
Well, all I know is my phone's never done that. That's all I know. And it's been dropped about 50 times and it hasn't been broken. So, case or no case. But I don't know. It's weird that we talked about that, but talking about the team, right?
Uh-huh.
The team mascots or whatever. So the Utah Utes.
The two Utes?
The two Utes. No, they're the Utah Utes, which is basically an Indian tribe.
True.
They're Utes. So why didn't anybody make a big fuss about that? I think I have an idea why. And it has to do with a certain church over there and the amount of a certain type of people that live in that state. So I was curious though, like why not that? Why didn't they go? They went after the Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
They went after
Washington.
I'm surprised they haven't changed Harlandales, but we wouldn't say anything about that.
Oh, we didn't say anything about Sam Houston.
Well, who did?
I don't know.
Why did they have to change it?
They
were the
changed to
Cherokees.
Yeah, and they changed to the Hurricanes, right?
Yeah, and then they're now the Hurricanes.
Well, who was it? Robert E. Lee.
Yeah. Hello, but that how it was.
I mean, I
that
get
Dixie,
it,
Dixie flag up there.
I get it. So
But
according
why,
according
though?
to
That's weird.
Google,
Are we listening to Google?
there was nothing between the Bullets and the Wizards. They went from the Bullets to the Wizards. I swear there was something
I
between
thought
though.
it was too.
Told you. I told you. I might not know politics, but I know sports, man.
Which we'll bring up later. I'm gonna test your theory here, sir. I found a website, and we're gonna leave it at the end of the show because if you get bored of us talking about sports, then you can turn it off. But
Yeah, you gotta wait till the end.
Yeah, it'll be at the end so
Yeah.
you can see what it is. But yeah, I mean, why not? Why? I don't know the reason why, but if they're the Utah Utes and they're in Utah, where there's a large concentration of, I guess, white people that live there, like, why haven't they made a big fuss about it?
Where's it at again?
They're in Utah.
Because does anybody really care about Utah?
What part of Utah?
But my thing is,
Is it
okay,
Salt Lake City?
if I don't know where they're located.
Washington.
We have a stat
or
guy.
Utah
We have a
Utes.
stat guy.
You're right though. Utah Utes. I remember
But I'm
that.
saying why, if they're gonna go after all these pro teams, like why aren't they going after the colleges, the Seminoles, the God damn, the Sun Devils? Like why would oh my God, it's the devil? Like you know what I'm saying? Like people are like that.
yeah, I mean that's because they were the Devil Rays.
True. And they changed to
Just the
Just
Rays.
the
they
Rays.
say the Rays now.
I mean,
yeah.
they still haven't changed the New Jersey Devils though, but I don't know if they're gonna change that.
I don't know if they'll ever change that, eh?
Eh?
Speaking of that, did y'all see the hockey game? Y'all didn't see the hockey
Yeah,
game?
well, you know the championship game's
tonight.
tonight.
The championship game tonight.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be crazy. 3 fights within the first 9 seconds of the game, dude. That was. And I actually saw the last two. I didn't see the first one, but I saw the other two. So the championship game's tonight. That's
Yeah, the
gonna be
first
pretty
two
cool.
were brothers, or the brothers were the first two fights.
Yeah. And sadly, before we continue, breaking news. Wembanyama done for the season for a flabbergasted. What was it called? Flabbergasty?
No, it was a
Infragrante delicto.
gigantic something.
What was it called? Flabbergasted.
Something. It was so the TH.
Thermonuclear mobile war. Anyway, he's been shut down. So, as the season wasn't done at this point.
Deep vein thrombosis.
Thrombosis.
There you go.
Wow. Well, I mean, let's be serious. A lot of people were saying, well, now maybe they can make a push to make. Okay, we're going into sports. But maybe they can make a push to go into the playoffs or maybe make the play-in game, and do that. And now I'm like, ooh, man. But it's going to be interesting because are they going to tank? Cranky brought it up. I mentioned it earlier, too. Can they tank?
I don't know.
Are they tanking?
Chris Paul said today they're going to figure it out. So here's the thing. I'm curious to see how they play without Wemby throwing up 13 threes.
Yeah. No, yeah. That
and
was
not
my
being
thinking.
down low.
That was my
and
thinking,
then who are they going to put? Is it going to be Massey? Who is it going to be, right? And are they going to have a more inside-outside presence now that he's not there? Because there really wasn't. He plays a lot of the perimeter, right? I mean, every time I see them practicing and they show them,
that's all he's doing.
I see him down low and doing all these moves, but I never see that in the game.
No, he never does it
right?
in the game.
So I'm just curious to see what kind of offense they're gonna run with timeout Mitch. So
eloquently coined by our Cranky.
by Cranky, yep.
Is that what you call him? Timeout Mitch?
Timeout Mitch. And it's crazy because they were, it was breaking news. I was on my way to a work event when I got there, right at noon, right when the news was gonna start. I see breaking news out for the season, and I see it on SportsCenter. I see it on all the screens, and then when they were showing the 5:00 news, they were talking to a lot of, I guess, people that were going around the city to different places, restaurants and bars.
Yeah.
And there was a guy crying. There was, other people were like, "Oh my goodness," and I'm like, "Calm down." He didn't die.
It was. They probably could have did a thing like Jimmy Kimmel, where they ask people the stupid questions. It's not even true.
Did you see that?
Did you see that Wemby was playing with the Washington Bullets and he hurt his shoulder? Oh, did he? Oh my God!
Did you see that he didn't get his work visa? And they're sending him back. Like, I want to see what their reactions would have been, man.
They asked all the wrong people. Like, go to Ojos Locos. Ask them there.
Yeah.
They would have been like, "Oh no shit, bro. Oh man, that sucks."
Yeah.
They would have been all
Órale, go Spurs, go.
The Spurs who?
Los Spurs.
Los Rayados, way.
Yeah, so it was just crazy that they were going and interviewing people. And then the people that they're interviewing, I'm telling you, like, do they look for the people that just should not be on camera? Like, you see somebody standing there with stats and everything. They're ready. Hey, we're not going to talk to you. Let's go talk to this person over here. And, and they have no clue on how to respond to something like this. And I'm like, they make people look so stupid on the news, man.
No, hombre, chara. The Spurs.
Go Spurs, go.
Go Spurs, go.
That dude passed away.
Did he?
Yeah, the one that did
No
that.
shit.
The nombre shut up.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, he passed away.
He's
Like a few months ago.
He's another hero, man. Another folk hero. So speaking of basketball, this is one thing that I want to talk about. This, if you grew up in the age that we grew up in and saw the basketball that we saw, there were fights, fist fights.
Yep.
Michael Jordan going through the lane, getting clotheslined and getting knocked on the head, and
David
being
Robinson
pulled
getting
down.
elbow to the head by Karl
there's
Malone.
Vicious shit, right?
Yeah.
Like vicious stuff. And then they show last night, as a matter of fact, against the Hornets. LeBron driving to the lane, going for a layup.
The guy misses the block, but misses him completely
Well, he touched him
with his pinky.
barely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like when you stop a baby's bottom, like, pop, pop.
Yeah,
that.
like,
No,
stop it.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was in
He went to the
agony
floor
on the
and-
floor.
holding his head, thought he had a concussion. They called a flagrant foul,
Yeah, no, they didn't.
No, they
They
did.
didn't. Oh, yeah, they
They
did,
did.
but then they reversed it.
and then
Okay,
they reversed it because when they saw the video, they saw that you know he was a little late for the Oscars.
Right.
It already passed, so
It was hideous, man.
yeah, it was a poor acting job by this dude. But
Not-
you know
not
what?
to
But we
mention-
see lots of videos like that of him.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of
Crying
videos where
and-
like he got poked in the eye and nobody even touched him.
Yeah, or he'll be there on the floor for 8 minutes, rolling around like
flopping
in
like
pain and
a
shit.
like a fish out of water.
So here's the other reason I brought it up. So this jerk, right? He's a jerk. He is, and I've said it long time ago. He's not in it to win championships now. He's in it for his stats. He's in it for his legacy.
For
He's
his
in
son.
it for his son. All that shit. That's what he's doing now. He doesn't care if he wins another championship. He really doesn't. So he goes to the All-Star. Of course, he gets voted in because everybody's going to fucking vote for him. Everybody likes him. He gets voted in, and then 2 hours before game time,
My ankle's not where I want it to be.
and I can't play. Like, in every single sports, like I sent y'all that video of that dude, right?
Yeah.
He went off on him too. But come on, man, you literally did take a spot from somebody
Yep,
that could have made the All-Star
that
team.
could have made it.
But no, like you just had to do it. He was in street clothes during the pictures.
Hmm. Oh,
Did you see
and that was one of the things that a lot of people
He's a fucking jerk.
had a problem with was the fact that he didn't even dress out. They're like, you couldn't even put the uniform on, and then when y'all took the team picture,
Right.
you had to be the standout in just your shirt and jacket and a backwards
Yeah.
hat. Like that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
He's
a lot
an
of people didn't
asshole,
like that.
because he's an ass.
Yeah,
I hate him.
but he's the GOAT. But he's
Goat
the
of
GOAT.
what? Goat of what?
Well,
There's only. Anyway,
like
I'm
you
done.
said,
All right, yeah.
like you said, there's a lot of people that haven't seen the, the previous basketball.
Even Kevin Garnett, even Tim Duncan, like that style of basketball that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
I was watching a college game the other day. Well, because I put a bet on it. But I was watching it, and I'm like, one guy had the ball. All four guys were outside of all the other four guys were outside of the 3-point line. There was nobody down low. There was nobody moving around. There was one guy on top of the key, and everybody was on the. I'm like, what is going on with this shit, dude? It's like that's why nobody watches it anymore. It's boring.
yeah.
It's boring.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, you saw the freaking All-Star game. One guy
You know
would
what?
shoot a three.
I didn't even
so
do it.
So
I
then the
didn't
next guy would shoot from like 2 feet back, and then the next guy was shooting from 2 feet back, and by the time you knew it, Steph Curry's throwing a half-court shot and making it, and it's like
I didn't even watch it. I watched everything on Saturday, but nothing. Oh, Friday and Saturday, and nothing on Sunday. I
Well,
didn't
did
even
you
watch the game.
see? I don't know. Did we share the video to each other, or I don't remember if I saw it. Was it a high school game? And this guy's recording. And he's like, "This is what basketball has come to," and it was the exact same thing. Guy pulls up a three. Other team goes down, shoots a three. Other guy comes back, 2 feet back, 2 feet back, and they kept doing it until they started throwing logo threes, and they kept making them. But they were like, "This is what it's come to. This is what Steph Curry did to the league," is what they said.
Do they want to blame him? Well, yeah, they are going to blame him because that's where it started. But it's just gotten worse.
Yeah.
It's just completely worse. It's like who wants to watch that? It's boring. It's like watching Angel Reese try to make layups. You know she's gonna miss.
Yeah.
So I was kind of mentioning to the fellas, I wanted to keep it lighthearted, but there's one thing that I just kind of wanted to go over, and not so much political, but kind of ties in with everything that's going on right now. And the reason it hit me is because of it was a young person, and it it sucks. It really does. So, 11-year-old girl in Texas committed suicide because she was being bullied at school. I I don't know if they were classmates or just other people, were telling her that she was going to end up alone because ICE was going to come, take her parents, take her mom, take her dad, and possibly her. And if they didn't, then she was going to be by herself. So I don't know how much of the bullying there was.
Yeah.
I don't, but
I mean, which makes it seem like the way the articles read were that it seemed like she was being bullied, and she was being targeted by
Right.
people in her class, and they were just kind of being kids, but
well, yeah.
but the way kids are, I mean, I think it's just the way society is now, right? But just kind of ruthless and just kind of, kept on and kept on and kept on, and it just got to her.
But that type of stuff is not learned.
Well,
It's
learned because it's taught.
Well, it's taught
Yeah.
because somebody's in that family, somebody in that house feels that way and feels like these people, they shouldn't be here. They should blah, blah, blah. That's all they hear all day long. And that's probably why they bullied this girl. I don't know if they're white. I don't know if they were even Mexican. They didn't say,
Yeah.
right? But she was bullied enough. They didn't say how she did it, which, I mean, people want to know, but, I mean, we shouldn't. They didn't say how she did it. She was in the hospital at least 5 days. The mom was hoping that she came out of it. She never did, so she passed away.
But did she take something? How did she do it?
They didn't really
That's
say.
what they're saying. They really never
Never really
released
said.
that information.
They just said that she was in the hospital. And it's happened back on
So why are you giving an opinion if you don't have facts, man?
Well, that's what the article said. Well, the fact is she died. I mean, the fact is she killed
Yeah, but
herself.
you don't have facts how she did it, how she killed herself. You're just saying that she killed herself.
So what are you saying?
That there's no facts, so why are we having an opinion on it?
The fact is she died. Fact is she killed herself.
Okay.
Well,
because
that's
she
the
was
fact.
being bullied.
That's the fact.
It's being reported. I checked 5 different articles just to make sure that I got my facts. And that's what they all said. Because they're not releasing that information. And, I mean, they don't have to, but people are going to find out. But
But because they don't release how she did it, kill herself, we got to believe that she did kill herself.
Well, that's what. So here's the thing.
they found her unresponsive.
Yeah, from what I'm reading is so they found her unresponsive.
No, I'm not saying that she
no,
didn't die.
no. But they're saying that. So I guess they're waiting for autopsy, toxicology reports, and all that to determine the cause of death because they haven't released that yet.
They know how she did it, man. They're like stupid. I don't know why they just don't say it off the bat.
It says the mother is working with investigators to determine the cause of the death, but added that there is nothing concrete yet. She had no prior indicators that her daughter was being bullied in school.
Well, somebody had to have known. She didn't leave a suicide note.
Yeah.
They had to have known it was going on. So somebody had to know. The school had to know. The school, the teachers.
The school released a statement, and they're saying it was the Gainesville Independent School District that they didn't have knowledge, and that whenever they receive a report of bullying, they respond swiftly to ensure that all students are safe physically and emotionally. They can't release any information about specific students or incidents, but the school has several policies in place to combat bullying and resolve conflicts. That's from the school district. But again, they haven't released anything saying this is what happened to her. Like, this is how. Like Porky said, I think it's just the whole thing is, it's sad that an 11-year-old would have to feel something like that to do something to herself. You know what I mean? To where where she felt like there was no other thing. There was nothing else left. Sad that she couldn't go to her parents. Sad she couldn't go to, a teacher or an official, or somebody that she could feel safe talking to. And why is that?
Yeah.
So I think those are the things that are the important things to take away from this, which is, where was her safety net? Why didn't she feel comfortable? Why wasn't there someone that she could have turned to? Things like that. But it was a sad situation.
It just because it ties into everything that's going on, and it shows you how ruthless people can be. Because I don't say racism. I'll say racism, but like they always say, that's not something in the DNA. It's something that you're taught. So
Yeah.
if these kids knew enough to be doing that to another kid, and it sucks that I had to tell my son, if anybody's telling you shit, you better tell me or tell a teacher. And if they do it again, you tell the teacher again. And if you do it, I said, it doesn't matter how many people you tell as long as you tell them and you tell me. Because there's times where I feel like he's gotten bullied. And the school says that they don't, it's a
Tolerate
0%
it,
policy,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I know these kids do it. I went to a goddamn dance with all these fucking kids running around. For some reason, he wanted to take his damn Switch, right? And I said, why are you taking your Switch? You're not there for that. Why are you taking it? He's like, well, my friends are going to take their Switch too, blah, blah, blah. So I let him take the Switch. He goes over there. He comes back without it.
Somebody
I'm
took
like,
it from
what the fuck? I said, where's your Switch? Oh, my friend has it. Get your ass over there and bring that goddamn Switch back over here. But I feel
They took it from him.
they took it from him and they bullied him. That's what kids are.
And I'll tell you like this though. So we heard of an incident that happened at one of the kids' schools where it seemed like a kid had made a comment referencing something like crossing the border, can't do this, or they're not gonna be able to do that, right? After, I guess, more investigating from school officials, they realized that the kids that reported it have been doing that. They've been reporting things that kids aren't doing.
So they're lying?
Yeah. Because they know the situation as well.
Oh, okay.
And because they know the situation, now they're trying to get kids in trouble.
Right.
You know what I mean? And because the kid was like, dude, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. And even the school officials are like, we know this kid, and the kid's Mexican, right? But we know that that's not we don't see that coming from him. And so it just became a kind of an issue, and it's just, but that goes to show you too that kids aren't stupid.
Yeah.
Kids,
They're sponges.
They are, and they know, and just the same way that you're talking about how things that are taught or learned from the kids where they know things. Guess what? They're also learning how to manipulate situations, and you see that, and so it's a slippery slope because there's always two sides, and you just never know. So
Well, that was just something I wanted to get off my chest because I mean it's if the facts come in and this really did happen, then
we know
where
it
do we
really
look?
did happen, but we just don't know that it really did happen the way they said.
Well, then that is a question. If she didn't tell anybody, then how did they know that
she was being bullied.
She was being bullied,
yeah.
and it was about that.
I mean, if that's the case,
Not
there had to
saying-
have been a witness. There had to have been somebody that
somebody
heard
else
something.
somebody else had to have said something.
Yeah.
And if there was no, I mean, she wouldn't know to leave. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna get into it. Suicide. I'm thinking suicide notes and stuff like that. But I mean, she's 11 years old, man.
Yeah, I mean, unless she was
naturally have to know
journaling,
that.
and
Yeah. Anyway, what's next? Cranky, what do you got?
11-year-olds is what, 8th, 7th grade? 5th?
The boys are 11. It's 5th grade.
5th grade. Yeah,
5th grade.
I guess 5th, 6th, 5th going into 6th or 6th. Yeah, but yeah, that's right. The boys are 11, so they're in 5th grade.
Well, think about the shit that we used to say, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't understand why that's considered bullying, because we heard worse.
We did some bad stuff actually. We threw people. Well, would not say we, but we saw people get thrown in trash cans. I mean, honestly, like there's been. I mean, you played football, y'all. I'm sure y'all did a lot of shit too.
We saw physical bullying.
Yes.
Physical bullying, man. Not verbal. It's physical.
Right.
And verbal.
Yeah.
At the same time.
At the same time,
Yeah.
you fucking
Yes.
Yeah.
that fucking-
I mean, it wasn't to the extent that we've seen some of these on TV where they're using the broomstick to go and
We
really.
but, it wasn't to that extent, but it was physical bullying. It was pulling somebody's shorts down.
I
It
think it
was, taping somebody to the goalpost. It was
Yeah,
things
exactly.
like that. So,
like football stuff.
huh? Yeah, she has something to say.
Like football stuff. Like that
Yeah.
stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So one thing I'll mention is that people probably haven't considered is that it may also be coming from instructors, like adults. And I feel like as a kid that's in 5th grade, and I'm only mentioning this because it was a personal experience with my 5th grader at one point, who was getting kind of the same type of racism or bullying. And it was race-based. And it was crazy because my 5th grader was also a female. Was heavier set at the time, and she was very self-conscious about that, and kids would make fun of her about that every day in and out. And she went from loving school and being a teacher's pet to absolutely hating school and her whole life and herself. And kids were also doing physical bullying, like they would grab her backpack and flip it inside out, do little things that were just inconvenient for her, and it was just her, nobody else. So she felt singled out, ostracized. But the tipping point for her, where the first time I ever heard her say, "I don't want to be here anymore," and she meant not alive anymore.
Right.
Was when her teacher, a male, who was her main home teacher, I guess advisory, so to speak, for those who don't know. She'd see him day in and out, like first class of the day, every other class throughout the rest of the day. Because in 5th grade, they're starting to transition you into middle school, which is you're changing periods. So she had him for 50% of the day. And in every class, he made it impossible for her to just get past anything because he'd always ridicule her. What we gathered or eventually realized was this campus was the magnet campus for students who are ESL, meaning English as a second language. Even though my daughter's not ESL, when she first started school, she had both Spanish and English, so they automatically put you in that. So she stuck out, so to speak, in her peer group and within her pupils because she knew English very well. So she wasn't like one of the other students who struggled to speak English, right? And I feel like this teacher saw this and picked on her, like, you don't belong here.
Right.
And because she was excelling and doing well in English, which is the goal for that grade at that school, it was just kind of like, leave, get out of here. It was kind of how I felt like he was targeting her to make her want to switch schools. And would quite often tell her, you don't belong here. You need to go somewhere else. Or, you think you're so much better than everybody else. You're not going to make it very far. Or, you think you're so smart. You're not that smart after all, are you? And would constantly, at every turn, if she thought she was getting up or understanding a topic, he would kind of like humble her in a way and
push her down.
Push her down and make her feel just stupid. And so she kind of buck with it. And it just encouraged the students to further bully her. And the final tipping point was her coming home one day and telling me that he called her a stupid little fat Mexican girl.
Holy shit.
Because you're just a stupid fat little Mexican girl. Or a fat stupid little Mexican girl. Because it was like a career day or something of the sort. And they were asking her what she wanted to be. And at the time she wanted to be an engineer. She had just heard the term. I don't know that she really knew what that meant. But she, in class raised her hand and told him that. And then his response to her was that, you're not going to be an engineer. You're just a stupid little fat Mexican girl. And she, aside from Mexican, which she already knew she is, it was the fat part.
Yeah.
And she was like mortified. She did not want to go back to school. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks later or a few weeks later was her like 5th grade graduation. She didn't even want to be a part of it. She refused. She was completely terrified because he didn't only say it, he got in her face and yelled it to her. I learned eventually that teacher got expelled because she wasn't the only kid he was doing this to. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that was the case with this little 5th grader, but it's not to be left out of the discussion and to assume that it's just kid talk, because I can't even imagine being in my daughter's position at that point. As adults, we can speak up for ourselves. Her already feeling out of the sort because she knew Spanish, but she didn't speak it as fluent as all the other kids. She stuck out because she didn't know English, so she had to kind of suppress that and pretend that she didn't just to fit in. And then when she did speak it in tests and when it mattered, she was then ridiculed, not only from students but from instructors, teachers, people who are supposed to protect her. Yeah. And so it made her come home and say that, I don't want to be here anymore.
And it was the fact that she was trying to fit in two different sides.
And both.
She was trying to fit in on the Spanish side,
and she
couldn't.
It didn't matter which
And then
side.
she tried to fit in on this side, and they were like, "No, because you belong on the Spanish side."
You're a Mexican girl.
And so
on the
it
other
just
side, it was she just at every side and every corner she looked at, she just didn't fit in. And on top of that was heavier set, and they already made fun of her because of that. She's since gotten braces, so she's gotten her teeth fixed. But at the time, that was an issue, and so they made fun of her because of that, because of her freckle. You name it, they just attacked her, and there was nothing as a parent you could do to save her. And I knew about it. I went to the school and I complained. It took a year for that instructor to get fired. And it was only because other parents found out about my daughter and they finally were like, oh, I thought my daughter or my son was just
you
joking.
too?
Yeah. And then now I realized, we found out that he's actually back teaching at that same campus.
No way.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just throwing that out there.
But
My daughter's
I-
legal. She's a citizen, but I felt like he didn't have to say Mexican girl because he was also Mexican himself. Had
He didn't look it, but he
and
was
I wouldn't put
Mexican.
it past that instructor alone because he's very arrogant in the sense that although he's Mexican and looks Mexican and speaks and talks Mexican, he doesn't portray himself or think that he's Mexican. He feels that he's American. Like he might be American, but he made her feel so less than for being Mexican, and he didn't have to use that as an insult.
Yeah.
And
And
he
then-
did, and so she didn't want to identify as Mexican anymore. She didn't want to speak Spanish anymore. She kind of wanted to suppress that side of her, and really stopped eating. And so it completely changed the trajectory of her life. And so I don't know that it was an instructor or a student, but bullying in any form in any age is not okay. And whether for me as a parent and as a human being who has empathy, the details around her death doesn't matter. She's a fifth grader that took her own life for whatever reason, and that sucks. Whether it was race-based or just bullying or race-centered bullying, it's terrible.
You know, and we see kids bully, right? I mean, like we said, we were. I know that I was on both sides of it.
We got bullied and
right?
bullied.
Yes, I remember being on both sides of it. Now, what doesn't help nowadays is that kids are there's always going to be a bully. There's always going to be somebody that's bigger or thinks they're better, or maybe just to make themselves feel better has to put people down. It's always going to be that person. But when you have people that are in positions of influence, whether it be an instructor, whether it be a parent, whether it be just an adult, and the kids see this type of behavior, then they feel it's okay, and it just intensifies it, right? And that's what the way I see it. You know, we can talk going all the way from if you want to go political, but it's anybody, an adult, an uncle, a teacher, an employer, doesn't matter.
You're right. You're both right, because I do see that, but I guess because of the way that everything's changed. Because when we were growing up, our parents would probably go to jail now for what our parents probably did to us when we were growing up. Whether it was a spanking or throwing a shoe or grabbing by the arm or doing all that, like that shit doesn't fly now because of the way the kids are. But that doesn't, it doesn't diminish the fact that it's still bullying.
Yeah.
But we are in a different day. We're in a different day and age where everything's on phone, everything's recorded, everybody has, so it was different back then because we took that. We didn't know any better.
Yeah.
We just took it. And we took it as part of growing up. Again, not diminishing. I'm not taking anything, not saying that it wasn't bullying or boo-hoo or, shit like that. I'm just saying that the way everything is now, it's way different than what it was back then.
Now, here's where I do agree with Cranky. Because the one thing that he always tells us every time we share a video is...
Well, you don't know the whole story.
Is where did it start? Like, don't just show the part of the reaction. What happened? Where's the beginning part of it? Do a backstory. Give more information. And that's another thing. I hate the videos that say, oh, if you saw this video, and then they're kind of going about it, and then it just stops. And it's like, well, where's the video? Or where's everything else part of it? Like, and then you're sitting there trying to rabbit hole. And I get tired. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going to look for it. I'll just go to something else. But it's true. Like, we don't know what was actually, like, what happened, right? We do see the reaction, and then the part that you do see is like, it's kind of bad. Mm-hmm. Okay, it does look bad, right?
Right.
But again, like we said, there's always two sides, man. I mean, we don't know what happened that started the whole altercation.
There's one, maybe two guys that I know that are on TikTok that they do real good jobs of that, because that's all they do.
The dude with the white hair and the beard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the end or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's another guy too who starts with a D. I forget his name. But they're really good in finding out the facts,
Yeah.
going and deep diving into saying, okay, what exactly happened? Who said what? Who started this? Who did that? And the video of that lady, I was mentioning to them about I didn't show that one to you. The only one I sent was that one with a lady.
Yeah.
In the car. Yeah. I only sent that one. But there was another one where there was these two ladies that were lesbians. They had a daughter. And some...
That's kind of like bad. No. They had a daughter, lesbians.
Probably not theirs. They probably adopted it. I'm guessing. But some lady just came up to them and just started telling them they were sex traffickers and that they shouldn't be moms because they're lesbians and blah, blah, blah. So just kept, not minding her own fucking business. And that's why I said what I said, because one of these days, one of these ladies is going to get the shit
Punch in
kicked
the
out of
mouth,
her. And then what are they going to do? Oh, well, see, I told you. We told you they were bad. We told you they were bad. No, bitch, you made them do that.
Yeah,
You
pushed
pushed
them to the point.
pushed enough buttons, and they're gonna, when they finally start attacking, that's when they're gonna come out and start being, I wasn't doing that. No, the whole story was you came up, you didn't mind your fucking business, and now you're gonna get your ass kicked. It's gonna amount to that, and it's only gonna get worse.
But what was that? What was that when that used to happen? What was that saying they used to tell us in Spanish? When you got what you deserved, but they would tell us in Spanish.
Oh man.
Querías? No.
Something like that,
Something
right?
like-
It,
yeah.
it had to go somewhere. It had something to do with that.
They used to. I heard it that sense, like when you wanted something and you got it and it wasn't the way you wanted it.
Like
you say,
porquerías or something like
"Core-
that? Like you
querías?"
wanted
Right?
it?
Querías?
Something like that, yeah.
Like you wanted it. Querías. But that's all I'm saying, man. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, it's only gonna get worse, unfortunately, because everybody has an opinion. Everybody has to say something, and sometimes you just need to, or it's gonna get worse. That's all I'm saying.
Tienes lo que querías. Yep.
Right?
Basically, yeah. Oh man, yeah. I mean, you know what, and the scary part about it is that same thing that we've talked about in other episodes where we're talking about all these kids that are breaking into cars or doing the stuff that they're doing. Everybody's caring. There's gonna get to a
Yeah.
point where something's gonna happen, and it's gonna be like, look, I told you they shouldn't. Yeah, and again, is it right? No, but at what point, do you keep pushing somebody and then not expect a reaction?
But it's already happened before with stuff like that, because like you said, everybody's caring. I mean, that incident at the mall where that dude stole that guy's truck, and
Yeah.
instead of leaving the scene of the crime, he goes and parks on the other side of the mall where that dude has GPS on his truck,
And then he goes.
sees his truck is still in the parking lot,
Yeah,
and he
and
goes and
approaches
shoots the
him.
dude.
Yeah.
So it's I mean,
I just, the way everything is now, people feel like it's their right to go up to somebody and just say something,
I think only if it's provoked. If they're not provoking it, dude, it's
Do you think
say
that,
nothing.
like that video that I sent, we didn't see the beginning part.
Yeah,
We didn't see the beginning part, so we don't know
What was said?
what
or
was said,
yeah.
or if and they were two ladies that were Mexican and the lady was white. So we don't know. They didn't say, and I looked at the rest of the video. They didn't mention anything about what was said before. They more or less made it seem like the lady just came up to them and started telling them stuff.
Yeah.
And called them Mexicans
Yeah.
and called them this and called them that.
wetback
And a cunt or something like
Yeah,
that. They called them like, oh,
Well, he didn't even even in the beginning, it was all beeped out.
We don't like videos that are beeped out.
No.
We want to hear the whole words.
Yes.
I mean, if you're posting it, might as well post the whole
Whole
thing.
thing.
And I'm like, why? What are they gonna do? Take it down? I mean,
Yeah. How many things are said that?
there's worse shit that's on there. I mean, I don't get it. But
Now-
I mean, yeah. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was gonna say something
ahead.
that wasn't off topic.
Oh, go ahead. We don't know what direction we're going right now.
Which we'll get into that too.
I don't know. No, I was just gonna say that I finally saw a video where they didn't use pew pew. They actually said gun.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, and they didn't get taken down. So, you know.
Which was the question that I had, because I was telling these guys that I was watching a video and basically what they did was like, you remember that blob from Weird Science, his brother, when she turned him into like that ugly fucking toad or whatever. Well, they made it seem like it was the king, you know, the king who he's a king now. Okay, so they made it seem like it was him, right? And then right as I was getting, you know, I was swiped up, and then this box popped up, and it's like basically asking me like, well, what did you think about this video? Was it appropriate? Was it? I was like,
And I've never seen that.
I've seen that at least 2 or 3 times, and every time it's come out, it's been after something that's made fun of Trump. Or the king. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna call him Trump, but he's a king. He's a king.
But it's not. It doesn't come up after like chicks with freaking cleavage.
Yeah, no, it doesn't come out
It
with
comes out if it's something about him.
Yeah.
the lady that's cooking without a bra
I
and she's
know.
stirring and
Cooking
like, you
with
know,
Kaya
her-
doesn't come out with her, but it comes out with Trump.
Do you think this is appropriate?
Well, yeah, I mean it's just food. I'm just learning how to cook.
Actually, had nice underwear. I mean, I don't know. But no, I just thought it was funny because I saw it. These guys said they hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen something like that.
But it usually pops up on mine, and I don't know why. But it's just curious. I'm just wondering.
Is it an Android? That's what.
Oh, shit. Well, look. I can turn mine on, and I can move. I can move it around.
So can
Look,
I.
It's still on.
Mine's working today, sir.
It's still on right now,
Mine's
so
working
it's
today.
not didn't lock up or anything. And I can take better pictures of the moon, motherfuckers. But well, anyway, I mean, yeah, that was trying to keep it lighthearted. That's the direction we went.
Yeah, that's the direction. Well, speaking of
I mean, I don't know why you say like. I mean, y'all act like I got my feelings hurt. Man.
Yeah.
I never said that.
Well, I mean, it's like you're sugarcoating it, man.
I felt
You are sugarcoating it.
I won't sugarcoat it. I felt that Cranky needed a rest today.
No, I mean,
I felt like he needed.
I
a
mean,
rest.
I don't care. I mean, but like, I mean, I just.
That's why he brought up the Korean barbecue. So that way it shifted to somebody else.
No, I didn't know. I mean, I brought it up because we might go there this weekend. That's why I want to know how it works.
Have you ever been?
Yes.
Have you ever been to?
It's not like Sabrina texted me, "Hey, ask about Korean barbecue."
Let's get this motherfucker.
And that didn't really happen.
hey, just don't bring up any other ones. Have you been to?
Didn't you go to Banging Beans?
There we go.
Do we need to go back there again?
Here's that body cam
Hey.
footage. You want it?
Hey, my cousin last week verified how manipulative her brother is,
Oh,
and
yeah.
having the hole punch.
Okay,
So-
okay. I'll go. You're right. Oh, free
yeah.
coffee? Oh, sure. Okay, yeah. That's all it took.
She's like, we
Come
have
on,
a
Luke.
Keurig here.
I'll take.
Like, damn,
yeah,
my bad.
I'll take you to get coffee right now. Let's go. Where do you want to go? Oh, Dutch Brothers. Wink, wink.
Dutch Brothers.
No, well, it's in an old car wash. So he probably thought it was a car wash.
It was a car wash.
Thought it was a
The
car
truck needed a wash.
Yes.
They just happened to be in bikinis and offering coffee. Oh, hi.
Wait. She was talking about, what was the one that you said? There's a place like Hooters, but guys.
Woodchucks.
Oh yeah, but it's in Puerto Rico.
Oh, she goes,
Puerto
why didn't we
Rico.
go over there
And
when we went to Puerto Rico?
then I found out it was actually it was near where we were staying. It was on the gay strip.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, well, you hardly remember what went down over there, so maybe y'all were there. You just don't know, man.
you're
He
right.
was probably there. Remember?
That's what he was
That's
making
what I
it
was
rain.
making
That's what he was making it rain.
Yeah, okay, it was a gyoza place.
What? Blackhawks making it rain.
There were egg rolls everywhere.
Oh, egg rolls. But they're more like plantains and bananas.
Speaking of flying,
Hey, change the subject, right? Really quick. Change it.
oh,
They have coffee on airplanes
they have
too.
coffee
you
on
know that?
airplanes. They do. They do. I've seen it.
So, So what do you think, man?
Speaking of airplanes,
We were talking about airplanes earlier, right? And I never wanted to get on an airplane. We're talking about.
so you've
X's.
only flown once.
Yeah, we're talking about X's last week, right? And that was the only time that I had flown because we flew to San Francisco basically, but we had to go through Sacramento and then we drove blah blah blah. Anyway, so the plane was, I mean, to me it was just a slightly bigger version of a
bus.
personal plane,
Oh,
like a personal jet.
yeah.
Because literally there was 2 rows on one side, the aisle, and then 1 row on the other.
Yeah, so
That's all it was.
that was a mini.
It was
yeah.
like kind of like that thing, like, well, can you get on this side so the plane can be even? Like, you know, that's
Police Academy?
Like, holy shit! Like, yeah. So that, and then we flew out of here, flew into Sacramento.
Was it
and
was it a private jet?
No.
No.
So
But
they have small.
that's how it
small
was called
jets.
JetBlue.
Yeah.
And all their planes are like that. They're real small, almost like personal, but I mean, they can fit people in there.
Yeah.
That's why I told you about that place in Arizona that had the military jets flying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we stopped there. But anyway, so yeah, that was the first time and only time that I've gotten on a plane. And it wasn't
So
even
did you
like
just fly over there and drove back?
No,
or-
no. We flew back.
Okay,
Yeah, we
okay.
flew back too.
So you went-
I had
went
to,
and
yeah.
came, okay.
So I had to, and the whole time we were like, "Oh, well, we can fly. It's better." I'm like, "No, we're driving." They're like, "No, we'll fly." "No, we're driving." And we ended up flying, and my fucking stomach was in my throat. I was ready. I was on edge the whole time, looking out the window. Fucking that's like a long fucking way down. I'm like,
Imagine going over the ocean.
Fuck no, fuck. You'll be like lost.
You look out and you don't see anything. Like, the heck?
But yeah, that was the only time I've flown, and I've never had the urge to do it again. And now all this shit is happening.
What year was that?
Oh my god, I don't even. It was before 2009. That's all I know, because that's when I got divorced.
So, Cranky, how many times have you been on a plane?
3.
So
Did you have to get on a plane when you flew?
when you
When you were in the.
when you enlisted, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was just one time, right? Over
No,
there.
because I flew over there and then I flew back
When you left, when you got out.
for leave, and then I flew to Seattle, and then I flew back from over there for leave,
And then never went back.
and then I flew back to go back, and then when
And
I
then
flew back, and when I knew I was coming back home for sure, I took the bus.
Fuck the flying.
Yes, I took the bus,
Well,
and
well,
then
like-
I didn't get on again
Till we went in
till we
2012.
Yes.
So wait, let me ask you. So then, what are your thoughts on flying? Like, how do you feel? Like, let's talk. Not even talking about like right now.
Okay, so
like
back
then.
so that was three times basically. I mean, over there, back, over there, and then when we went to Chicago, and then you flew to Syracuse.
For Syracuse.
So I mean, at that time, did you still have that like? Because do you fear flying or you just don't like it?
Both.
Both. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I almost sit next to the window.
No.
No. I
That'd
don't
See,
make it
and I
worse.
was like that too. So for a long time, so I
And
don't-
your business, you're
yeah,
you
I
could
don't
have
like
been all over
flying,
the place.
right? I don't like heights. I don't like flying.
I hate heights.
But I had to fly a lot, right, for my work. So a lot of the times I would always choose the aisle. I didn't want to be in the middle,
Stay away from the window.
but I would choose the aisle every single time. It wasn't until recently, actually, until we started, doing more trips, where she loves the window. So now I'll be at in the middle while she's at the window. And then there's been a couple times where we've had to be separate, and I've had either an aisle or a window. I'm not opposed to being at the window now.
Right.
It's not my favorite still, but I'm not opposed to it. I'll do it still.
Like Julia Gulia. Can I have the windows? No.
Yeah, every time the cart goes, it hits me in the elbow. So I'm not opposed to it, but I still don't like it, right? But I had to fly a lot.
Yeah.
And Cranky made a comment a couple days ago, and he was like, "Dude, just when I started flying again,
Being comfortable.
right?
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, when we were gonna do our trip to Chicago, I literally had to like pull teeth to get him
to get on the
to
plane.
get on the plane
I
because
didn't buy my ticket till the last.
Oh,
till the
yeah.
last
yeah,
minute.
it was last minute,
Yeah.
and he was like, no,
So what were you thinking of driving? I'm sorry, taking
Yeah.
it away from. Were you thinking of driving or?
No, because if I would have drove by myself because they already had their ticket.
Right.
Yeah, we already had our
okay,
flights.
okay.
You know.
And so he was like, man, no, and then he finally was like, okay. When he said the okay, like we're good to go, right? Flew over there,
Hurry
flew
now!
back.
Throw him in the plane.
And then of course, you know, he goes to Syracuse and he's fine.
Oh,
and so he's now thinking, okay, you know, not it doesn't have to be all the time, but you know, he can handle it.
It's comfortable.
And
It's
then now
comfortable.
within the last month, you've had the Washington thing.
the black cock.
Yeah. You've had the Philadelphia thing.
That was even
Right?
worse.
You've had and the Korean one was
That
in
was
November,
in
but it just started
November.
resurfacing after all this started happening. You know, you had the Alaskan plane that went missing, and then the one that crashed. Then you had the one that flipped in Canada, right? Or what was it?
Right. Or even
Right?
Yeah.
That one,
or
Toronto.
even the one Vince Neil's
Vince
plane.
Neil's and Vince Vaughn's.
Vince
collided.
Vaughn collided. And then
Yeah.
the guy that was flying it passed away, didn't he? Or like two, and then the lady broke
One
her
of them,
ribs.
I think one ended up dying.
Somebody
in
passed
that
away,
collision. I don't
and
know
then
who
the
it
lady
was.
broke her ribs.
Yeah.
So then the Canada one.
Then the Toronto one, and then now Arizona, where you had the two
Arizona.
little Cessnas
that
or
one
whatever
I
that
didn't
hit.
see, but
So
was it a Richie like a Rick?
kind of they just and over there at that airport they have no air traffic control.
That's not the airport you were talking about, right?
No, because the one he was talking about was
No.
in the one that left to go to Washington. Remember, you were saying that you were like, hey, I thought they don't have a big runway, so they have to.
Oh yeah.
No, so in Arizona, they don't have a air traffic control at that airport. To me, I'm thinking then when I hear that, I'm thinking it's an airport like Stinson, but
Oh.
Stinson has an air
Yeah,
traffic
they
control.
have it. You can see it.
Yeah,
up
it's right there. So
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you
not have
was
it?
this a cartel freaking airstrip?
like the landman.
Yeah. Like what kind of airport doesn't have a traffic control, man? But you know, you've had all these instances, all these things that have happened within a month. You know, and I was feeling the same way. I'm seeing all this and I'm thinking, do we really want to go to
But you said y'all are driving though.
No, okay, yes. In a couple of weeks we are.
Right.
But we're supposed to take a trip in July.
Oh.
And that trip first we were supposed she's not here. We were supposed to go to the DR.
Really?
Yeah, but then we've heard of a lot of things that are going on, so we were like, okay, let's change it. And everybody kind of decided on, well, let's go to like Cancun or something. And I'm like, do we really want to go to Mexico? I'm like, can we just go back to Puerto Rico?
We're not
or
driving. Yeah. Can we
know?
go to something that's not attached to the United States, please?
So
Or the
I don't
country?
know, man. I'm
I mean, if you go to Cancun, it's still gonna be called the Gulf of America. It's not gonna
They're
change.
boycotting
Just
Is
because
that
they're in
what it is?
Mexico, it's not gonna be called the Gulf of Mexico
He's
again.
boycotting.
Hey, you know what? And I'm curious if I get over there and then I turn on my phone if it says Gulf of Mexico.
I bet you it would. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
I
because
wouldn't
you're on
doubt
their
it,
kind of
yeah.
signal. I don't know, you know. And then
Because freaking MapQuest still has it.
yeah,
That's crazy. I took a screenshot. Yeah, it still does. Gulf of Mexico.
so yeah, I don't know, man. It's just the thing that gets me is all these things happen, like I said, in less than a month.
But yeah, in such
I mean,
a
is
short
it-
time for it to happen.
Is it a coincidence? Is it like what is it that all of a sudden we have all these things
So
happening?
In my thinking, right, because that's how I think, right away, I'm blaming one person, right? But when I really think about it, it's like, okay, who can we blame? Because it can't all be because of that. I mean, you got
Yeah.
there's things happening in other countries,
Yeah,
you know, regardless.
yeah.
So it can't all be that. So what's going on? Like, I mean, it can't be the weather.
And you know, so the one in Toronto. I mean,
Now that one, they when they talked to the guy, they said they were lucky because when it rolled, the wings came off, which there was that's where
Which
all the
didn't
fuel
make 'em
was.
flip, yeah.
Well, that's where all the fuel was.
Yeah, 'cause that's where the
So
engines
when
are.
it flipped and they both detached,
Yeah.
that's what caught on fire, and the whole where everybody was in it did catch fire, but it wasn't. It didn't have gasoline or anything.
Yeah,
'cause
there
it
was
could
no
have been
fuel, yeah.
a shit ton worse.
Yeah.
If-
And the thing is, it didn't flip and roll a lot. Like it literally
It just
went
kinda like,
over and it kind of.
slid
The
on
good
its
thing I think is it's there was snow, so it everything kind of just stopped. And it's crazy because I saw a video of the guy that was inside, and he's recording as they're landing, which I see a lot of people do.
Oh,
She's done
really?
it. We've done it. He's recording from inside the plane, and then all of a sudden you just see boom, and then you see it go over, and then next his camera now catches people literally upside down. And I'm like, and I'm thinking of the U.S. Marshal. Remember that movie?
With Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Oh, when it,
Tommy Lee
when it
Jones.
rolls down.
Yeah,
into the,
you know,
the river.
and you see the people that are upside down and they're having to unbuckle them to get them off.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Wow.
And then you see them getting off, and this dude gets off, still recording, and is running around the plane. I was just on this motherfucker. Like, he's yelling. I'm like, damn, dude, that's crazy.
What is the same thing with the dude in the 18-wheeler?
Oh,
I saw that.
where was
yeah.
that at?
Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Yeah, I saw. There's another video. Well, was that one? Because they showed the tunnel when
Yes.
everything was on fire. But then I saw another one where the guy was recording the video from his phone of the truck being inside the truck, and he's like, "Here I am passing up somebody," and then they hit the ice, and he's like, "I'm skidding," and he just wedges like between. The tunnel and another truck. But that's all he showed. He didn't show anything else after that.
Well, then you see the video of the guy that's recording. And he's like, I got to get out of here. And he's trying to kick out his windshield. I'm thinking, I'm never going to be like, oh, let me start recording before I'm safe.
That's what I don't understand.
He's kicking his windshield and he's like, I got to get out of here. The phone is off.
Wait, I gotta charge my phone.
Yeah, let me update my freaking fans.
Oh shit! I have an iPhone. It's stuck.
Here we
Fuck!
go.
I can't record. Son of a bitch! I wish I had an Android. I'd be recording in 4K.
Yeah, but it was in the tunnel, so it wouldn't have got no reception.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. You know what? We've had that issue when we were driving back from. It was driving back from Dallas, right? In our vehicle. So our vehicle has Wi-Fi.
Ooh.
And so when we're driving, we're using the
You think you're better than me?
we're driving and we're using the Sirius, right? We're listening to the different radios, different stations, and we're driving. And when you're coming and you go through like an overpass, like in Waco or Waco and Temple, where they have the long ones, right?
Yeah.
And also, I guess Austin, when you're coming through, there's no music playing, and we're like, what the heck?
No,
and it just kind of shuts down.
It happens when I had Sirius. It happens here too.
Yeah.
Anytime you go under even just a regular overpass, for that split second, it cuts off because the reception.
Yeah.
You know, you're not getting it. But yeah. I know exactly what. But
Well, that used to happen back in the day, dude. Regular antenna cars. We used to go on every time we go under a bridge, and the music shut off.
I guess the good thing about Sirius is that it pauses the
You don't
the
miss
song.
anything.
You don't miss anything.
Okay.
It just starts from where it left off. That's crazy.
oh man.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm having those thoughts of like, dude, do I really want to fly, man?
Well, I mean, if you
It's gonna
think
take
about
us-
it, I mean, this is just, speaking out of the ass, but, now that all these plane things are happening, we haven't heard anything about mass shootings.
Wow.
Houdini.
or gun violence.
Houdini.
I don't know. Hey, look over here.
Yeah. And this is happening. It's just, I'm having those thoughts like, do I really want to? Do I really want to? It's crazy because my cousin mentioned that she was telling me that her company now has a policy where they have to, they have an emergency contact and they have to let the person know, which is like, let's say like her mom is her emergency contact or whatever. And she has to let them know when she's flying out, the airport she's flying out of, the airline and the flight number.
Oh shit.
That way, in case anything happens, they have all the information already because of everything that was happening.
Yeah. So they
Like,
keep
dude,
it-
I'm like, you gotta. I mean, think about it. I would have already been sharing that information anyways. But still, I'm thinking, dude, to go if a company has to make a policy to go to that extent, that people are scared. And Cranky's always said it. Things are happening. to get people scared and take away the
No,
attention from
right.
something else. So
Yeah.
So so back at the Delta one that turned upside down, the thing was they're giving each passenger
$30,000
Now is that for them to like?
to keep
Shut up.
Yeah, you know.
So did you
what-
guys see Landman?
Yes.
Do you remember when they paid those people off so that they wouldn't sue?
The guys that exploded in
The three guys, the
families.
three family. Yeah.
Yeah.
spoilers much?
Oh.
You haven't seen it? I thought you saw it.
That was
I'm never
like a
gonna
year
watch
ago.
it.
You know?
You're gonna want to watch it.
I'm like, we
I
watched it on your account.
He just wanted to
It's
Is it on
already
Max?
there. You might as well go watch it.
I didn't know it was on Max.
Is that
I
on
only-
Max?
I thought it was
It's
on
on
Max.
Paramount.
Oh,
It's on
okay.
Paramount.
It's on Hey,
But I watched it up to the third.
he only
one
wanted to
where
get
I
to,
wanted.
he
I
only
wanted to get to
episode 3.
I wanted to get to Allie.
She didn't. You know what? And she didn't even see it because I saw episode 3 at her in-laws' house. So she missed it. She didn't even know that Ali Larder, she's naked in that in that episode.
I heard about it after.
Yeah. So
Who
Jorge was
said-
like, I
was
just
it
wanted to
Roger?
get to. Huh?
Who said? Was it Roger or you that said that cranky? So, oh, I don't want to see 50-year-old Ali.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
wanna-
fuck you.
I want to see Ali Larder.
I
from
want to
Varsity
see
I
Blues.
want to see Varsity Blues, without the whipped cream, man.
No, I wanted to see that. I
Jorge
couldn't
said-
wait.
Jorge said that she doesn't look bad for
Hey
50.
man,
so
50. Shit. She throughout those first 3 things that I saw. So that's all I saw it too. I only saw it up to that. I haven't seen the rest. But I mean, if she's 50 years old, man, shit.
she's giving Sama a run for her money.
Nah. No,
We're not going that far.
You need to slow your roll.
Slow down.
It can only be one.
Slow your roll a little bit there.
Can you
Louis.
imagine what it'd be like when Selma like is gone? It was kind of like when Kelly Preston, passed away. That one hurt, man. That one hurt, dude.
Yeah, Canada's up 1-0.
Her in Twins.
Yes.
You remember her in Twins?
Twins.
Kelly Preston? Jeez, she was wearing that 90.
How did she
Sorry,
pass
Sabrina. You have to hear
breast
this. But
cancer?
Oh, that's right.
yeah. Why? He took the wrong one. He should have took John.
No.
Should have taken John. No, not you, John. The other, Travolta. Travolta. We're talking about Travolta. Not that John. We still love you. We still want you here.
Yeah, man. So like she was mentioning, in that show, they pay off these people, right?
Yes, I forgot.
But see, in that one, the lawyer does have a contract telling them, this is gonna now take away from
You
you,
can't do
having to sue it. You can't sue
Whoa.
us. We're gonna give you this amount of money, and so a couple of them, the 2 of the people sign it, and the third one, she has somebody there, which is the son of what's his name, he's kind of helping her. He's like, don't sign it.
Yeah.
You need more. So they finally offer her more money, right, for her to sign. So she's gonna get all this money. Delta came out with a statement saying that they're offering this $30,000 to each
Family
each person that was on the
nobody
flight.
died. Nobody died in that one. Right?
18
But
were
still.
hurt. One was critical. I think most of them are already out of the hospital except for that one.
Yeah, one's still in the hospital.
Right, so that's the only one. But they're offering the $30,000 to each person that was on the flight. But this isn't to deter them or to affect anything to have to do if they decide to have a lawsuit.
So it's not shutting them up.
It's not now.
That's
I'm pretty sure some people will be like, well, shit, I'm gonna take that $30,000 and just shut up and then leave, right? Especially the ones that weren't hurt. I'm sorry, but if I was injured in that, I'm getting a lawyer and I'm
Injured,
gonna.
yeah.
I'll take my $30,000.
oh yeah.
Gotta cover my hospital bills.
And then I'm gonna raise you. And I'm gonna raise you
$500,000.
See your offer and I raise-
2.8 million.
2.8.
Because I think there was some barbecue sauce on that plane that landed.
And they didn't tell me it was hot. I had to find out for myself.
I was
Speaking of crazy, not changing subject, of crazy lawsuits.
Yes.
This couple won how much? 2 million? 3 million?
4 million. They were at a restaurant at a Jim's restaurant on Broadway,
No way.
and
Here?
yes,
It's not there. No wonder that Jim's is not there no more.
the 410 Broadway.
banked
or,
them out.
Oh, no.
No, which one is it?
No, there's
The
there's
one,
a
the one in front of-
Frontier Burger.
Yeah, but the one in front of the one that was across from Incarnate Word.
Oh, okay.
Remember
No,
that
yeah, you're
Jim's?
right. You're right.
Around
And
the
that one
Jim's.
was on Broadway. Wait, I wonder. I don't know.
That
if it
one's
was that
closed.
One.
Yeah, that
So-
one's closed.
So they were. I guess they were sitting at a booth near a window, and the window shattered. And so
I know which Jim's you're talking about.
cut them or whatever happened, right?
Yeah.
This was in 2022. Yes, 2022. They just settled, or they just were awarded $4 million.
Oh my God.
They didn't die. They didn't lose an eye. Nothing happened. The window shattered. I guess they got some injuries or cuts or
Yeah.
whatever. But they were awarded $4 million. And then to find out that there was, at that same gyms, in 2006, a window shattered there too. There was nothing shown that there was any,
Nothing came out of it.
anything
Yeah.
came out of it. But we were literally just watching the news right now, and it came out $4 million to this couple.
Oh my
What,
God.
Well, like, is it too close to the highway that the cars are going too fast and the vibration is making the window, kind of like,
Yeah, why would
why would a window just shatter?
Why would it
Sure.
just shatter? Unless somebody's throwing something at it, but
Were they looking
Yeah,
at-
I mean,
They probably
Inside
have one of those
job.
Ice picks, or the,
they have one of
the car-
the window breakers
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the cops have.
I don't know, man. I've seen some people do some crazy things, so I wouldn't put it past them.
it's like Christina was talking about the TV.
Oh, that
The
fell.
TV that landed on the
Oh, the-
person.
Yeah,
It's like, why wasn't it me?
yeah, man. Shit. I would have gone for the 2.8.
2.8. That's the starting point from now on. Then.
Right.
2.8.
That's what they're gonna be coming to settle. Look, we'll give you 2.8. Nah.
This isn't barbecue we're talking about here. The fucking plane. I could have died.
Down. Yeah, man.
Serious? I mean, that's gonna be the bar right there. They set the bar
They
right
did
there.
set
the
the
bar
bar.
right there, man.
Shoot.
All right.
I'm just, I think the way we talked, like when we were talking about the 2.8, that there's gonna be appeals, there's gonna be all this stuff that's going on. I want to see when she actually gets that money, right? Same thing with this couple. I mean, $4 million. I don't know if they settled or if they were awarded by the jury $4 million. But if they settled, then they get their money. If it was awarded, then I'm sure the company's gonna do everything they can to try to fight it and do appeals and all this stuff. So it's gonna take a long time for them to get their money.
You're saying that you don't think she's gonna get it outright? You
I don't
think they're
think
gonna appeal it?
Oh, they have to, bro.
You think so?
I think everybody goes through the appeal process.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
does.
But they haven't said anything.
They
They
haven't.
haven't said like Bill Miller. Oh, Bill Miller is looking to appeal.
No, they
Like,
just
haven't
came
said
out with stickers that says content might be hot.
But we're still appealing. And when we don't have to pay, those stickers come right off.
F you and your hot barbecue sauce.
Oh, because it's like, okay, it's kind of like, well, it's not like it, but, I was watching that one show I was watching, and they showed that one episode of Jenny Jones.
Uh-huh.
I don't know
Oh,
if you
yes.
You remember that Jenny
Yes, the
Jones
guy.
where the guy killed the guy because they didn't tell him. They
That-
told him they told him somebody had a crush on him.
Yeah, they didn't tell him it was another
They
guy.
didn't tell him it was another guy.
yeah.
So the guy ended up, after the show
Went
went
and
on, and he killed the
killed
dude.
him, yeah.
He killed the dude because he was embarrassed.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
embarrassed him on national TV or whatever. Well, anyway, so the parents of the guy that got shot, they sued Jenny Jones.
Yes.
And they were awarded $25 million.
Yeah.
Well, Jenny Jones and the producer of her show, they appealed it, and they won.
They didn't get nothing.
And they didn't get nothing.
Okay, so this is making me think. I wanted to do this, but I'm gonna ask y'all if y'all watched that Gabby
Yes,
Perino
Perino
thing?
Not yet.
We haven't seen. I
We
think
saw a different documentary, but not the newest one that came
Yeah.
out.
I think I've seen one of them before
It's
this
like three.
one, but I did see this one though.
Oh wait, the one that was.
She
her
went
dude
off with
took
the
her,
dude,
yeah,
and then he went missing.
missing. She went missing in the mountains or
Yeah,
whatever.
and then he went and
yeah. So
killed
we did
himself
see
and
one,
stuff.
but there's another one that just came out.
Why the fuck haven't those parents been charged?
I know that's crazy.
Because
to
of the
me.
shit that they helped him.
His parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They literally
They're
helped
pretty-
him, dude.
What is aiding in the bed?
Yeah.
Right? Aiding. Well, he
How
wasn't.
the
But he wasn't a fugitive though.
No, but for her to literally say,
Yeah, for in the letter.
"I'll get a
Yeah.
shovel and we'll hide the body," I mean shouldn't that be like a what do you say? How do they say it? Admission of guilt? Because they're helping him.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, y'all should check it out. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all need to see it because.
I haven't. We haven't seen the new one. We
I mean,
saw,
it's
we saw
like
an old one, but
it's like nothing that they didn't show. I don't think it's nothing that they didn't show before, but it
Yeah,
it
exactly.
makes me think even more like why the fuck and the way the lady was not. Oh wait, I don't want to say it because then
Yeah, spoilers.
Because
Spoilers.
I don't care. It's fine.
Spoilers. But I mean, the text messages that she was sending to other people, like nonchalant, like all fucking bad, like did my ass look big on TV? Like really? Seriously? Anyway, yeah. So y'all gotta look it up. So this is what I want to finish on. And Sabrina, you can play along too, but I don't know.
Okay.
You'll play along.
I'm sure I'm useless on this side, but I'll try.
It's a
You never know.
it's
a
a
little
tri-
bit.
it's a little trivia.
A little bit of sports trivia. This is what I wanted to end on.
Hey, we can, and you know
so-
what? We can get her answer first.
Well, here's the
Well,
the
don't put me on
deal.
the spot.
No, each one is multiple choice, but I don't know if I should give y'all the multiple choice because then y'all might figure it out.
Okay, give me
I
the.
wanna
Well,
know.
if we don't know the answer off the bat, then
Okay.
give us the multiple choice.
All right, I'll do a couple of them here. You should answer. You should know probably not all of them, but you might have to think about a couple.
Okay, can I try first, and then if I don't know, I'll pass and let them
Okay.
answer.
There
Okay,
you go.
that's fair because they know all of these.
Okay.
He doesn't remember what happened last
So-
week on a
so-
Tuesday, but he knows what happened in 1980. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Not 1980. I was only 3. Maybe 1986.
I know that he went to Banging Beans on a Tuesday.
I know he did too. I know he did too.
It was in Houston. Topless Tuesday.
Topless Tuesday.
Did you know that, right? You know there's one in Houston.
No, I'm sure you do though.
Oh.
I haven't been there.
No,
we
of
do
course
now.
not.
Well,
I'm gonna ask my cousin if he's gone.
I'm sure he has, and I'm sure he has hole punch cards there too.
X-nay on that trip we were gonna take without you know who.
Well, we're supposed to go to Houston in July.
Well, it doesn't look like you're going to Houston.
June.
I thought it was July.
No, it's the end of June.
When you say we, do you mean all of us?
Yeah.
Oh, you
For
can see
what?
the
The
Cubs
game?
are playing.
The
or
Cubs
what?
Oh, the
Astros.
game. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I asked. Well, hopefully nobody else from my work is listening because they're gonna want it too. But I asked a vendor that's out of Houston, and I said, "Hey man, did you already put in for the tickets?" He's like, "I haven't, but I'll do that and I'll see if I can get them for you." Their tickets are like literally right behind home plate, maybe about 10, 12 rows behind home plate.
the
I'm like, dude, if you can get me those tickets for one game, just give me one game.
How many?
I think he can get 4. So I was like, if you can give me those 4 tickets, bro, just for one game, I'm good. I don't care which game it is. We'll get nosebleed section for the other ones. But that one, if we can get one, I'm good.
Y'all can be up there. I'll be
Yeah.
down here.
Anyway, go ahead and shoot. I want to hear the question.
Okay. So I'll do this one because I know they're gonna know it.
Okay.
But I'll ask you, which team made the biggest playoff comeback in NFL history by defeating the Houston Oilers in 1993?
I was 2.
That's the wrong answer.
Holy shit,
Okay,
dude!
I'm gonna just.
We were like,
I'm gonna do a shot in the dark here because these were legends at the time. I believe, like in the early '90s, was it the Bulls?
What NFL?
I said
Oh, no.
NFL. You might want to defer your question. You might want to defer your question.
I don't
now.
think there was an NFL team called the Bulls.
The Oilers. I'm like, who's the Oilers?
Exactly.
Hockey?
like-
Raiders?
She's like problem child.
There are
Home,
Oilers in hockey.
touchdown,
There are Oilers in hockey.
touchdown.
It was
All right,
football.
I'm
Okay,
gonna pass.
and it's called. Wasn't it called the? No, it wasn't. I was gonna say the Music City Miracle, but it wasn't.
No.
It was before that. Yeah. But anyways, we
So-
know who it is. That's right.
What is it? What is
It was Buffalo.
Buffalo Bills.
The Bills.
Yes.
I didn't even know that was a team back then.
Actually, they've been around for a
Can
while.
we do one from this decade? Like,
My
damn.
God, she's like, I was only 2. Like we were fucking sophomores and juniors in high school. Like, are you
We were
serious?
sophomores. Yeah.
God damn.
Not only did we were sophomore, but I remember watching that game.
I do remember watching that game too. I
Like,
do.
wow.
Warren Moon, man.
Warren Moon's
Yeah.
kicking the shit out of the Bills.
Yeah.
Nope.
Was it 35-3?
28-3.
28-3?
I think it was
terrible.
28-31, something like that.
Something. Yeah.
Oh, they
yeah.
were
Yeah.
up
They
right.
came back and won. Yeah.
Frank Reich.
Frank Reich.
was
Yeah.
the
He was the
quarterback.
quarterback.
for that.
Yep.
And where was
Crazy.
our first date? He remembers the coach. He remembers the
It was
stats.
Cheesecake Factory.
You're a damn. No.
Oh, you're talking about like when we went to Castroville?
Let the record show.
Wow. Noted.
Anyway, next question.
Wait, our first date or our first meetup?
Whoa! Hey. This is a family show, please.
Okay. Next question.
Okay, well, let me find one. Okay. Who was the first player in NFL history to rush for over 2,000 yards in a single season?
I mean, I have a.
What year was this? What season?
Hold
was
on.
this?
We just
Well,
saw something about it,
Okay, you can't
and
get
they talk about it.
can't give me hints. What season was
Well, I
this?
could.
What year
I
was
mean,
it?
When did he?
it didn't say. It doesn't say
It
yet.
was 70.
It was back in the.
It's gotta be
either
76,
late-
79.
late-
But
Oh,
wait,
oh, is it? No, that was too early. Not Sharp's brother, right?
No. We literally just saw something on him.
You said rushed.
Rush.
Rushing yourself.
so-
Okay, yeah, football.
We should just ask her, and then this will be a whole segment. This will be
Yeah,
great.
I just know
This will be great.
that they finally inducted like Shannon Sharp's brother into like the
Yeah,
Hall
no,
of
it
Fame,
wasn't
and
him.
I was
No,
like,
not-
oh,
no.
But he was a receiver, so not
oh,
a
okay,
Yeah.
that wouldn't have worked.
He was a wide receiver. No. O.J. Simpson.
In the 70s?
Yeah, it was either late 60s or early 70s.
No way.
Yeah, it was
When
late
he
70s.
broke
It
that.
was
Yeah,
the late,
when he
it was,
broke
or
that
it was the
record.
70s. It was 70s. And he did it in
Wow.
14 games.
Yes.
Wow.
And now there's 17.
So, I mean, you look at the other
1973.
people. 73.
I didn't know he played in the 70s. I thought
Yeah.
it was like in the
Just
late
a
80s.
Twinkle.
No, he started acting in the
And then murdering in the 90s.
he murdered in the 90s.
Murdered in the 90s.
And then he was-
robbed in the 2000s.
And then he was robbing in the
Free in the
2000s.
2000s.
a burglar in the 2000s.
He's a jack of
He was
all
running
trades.
again.
B&E, freaking armed robbery, he did the whole thing, man.
That was a good one. So I'm gonna ask them this one because
Okay, 'cause I
I've
wouldn't know
I've
this
seen this one for quite some time, and I wanted to know if y'all knew it. Which MLB player holds the record for the most RBIs in a single season?
Hack Wilson.
It is Heck Wilson.
Hack Wilson.
Yeah.
191.
Damn.
You know who he played with?
The Cubs.
Yeah.
He did that with the Cubs.
And nobody freaking-
191
You
in
barely get 120
in
now.
1930.
130.
And I'm trying. I can't remember the facts, but it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. Like, but you think about it, people had to be on base for him to score.
Yeah.
So I mean,
And not only that, I think it was done in. They weren't playing 162
no,
games back
they
then
were
either,
still
right?
doing like 140 or something like that.
And they made it far, right? But because I know
They
that
didn't win.
No, of course not. Because they
lost.
won in 1908. They didn't win against
Yeah.
2016. So we know those. We know those stats.
I'm sorry to bring up
but
that
they
one.
did. But they did make World Series. They just never won.
Sore subject. Sorry.
It's not a sore subject. They won. We're good. We saw it in our lifetimes.
Right.
It's not a sore subject.
Okay, who's the only MLB player to hit 2 grand slams in a single inning?
Fernando
Ruth.
Tatis.
Fernando. Who?
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
That would have been a good answer though. But it wasn't him. It was Fernando
It
Tatis.
was a baseball player. At least it was a baseball player.
That was in the right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you.
Hey,
Frank.
and it
Thank
was
you,
a
Frank.
home run hitter. So I mean,
Yeah.
we got to give her that.
He was close.
But Fernando Tatis, we remember
Oh,
we
yeah,
saw him.
Yeah. You're
So-
right.
Where'd y'all see him?
He had his little stint with the missions.
That was Junior.
Oh yeah.
that's right, it was
Junior.
Junior.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna see you saw him in Puerto Rico when you were giving me.
That's right. He is Puerto
You were
Rican.
making it rain. What was I gonna say? Oh, the best of times. Remember the movie The Best of Times? When he's like, oh, "What do you want to talk about?" Well, let's talk about Beirut. They're like, Beirut? What do you know about Beirut? You go, Beirut, best goddamn baseball player ever lived. Anyway, that's what it made me think of. Okay. Oh, y'all won't know this one. Okay, which MLB player holds the record for the most career triples?
I don't know this. I'm pass.
Pete Rose.
It's not Ricky, is it?
Oh, that
Final
would've been
guess?
Good too.
Final answer? Do you want help?
Willie the Geek.
Do you want help? Do you want multiple choice?
Or do they come in multiple choice?
Yeah, multiple choice. That's what I'm
Oh.
saying.
Well,
yeah.
it's got to be a speedster, man.
Yeah, it has to be a speedster. So that's what I say, like Willie McGee,
Vince Coleman.
Vince Coleman.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all would never guess. I would have never guessed it.
Okay, is this a newer player? Because maybe I do know this.
it's-
It's old.
He was
Nah.
maybe late
Okay.
90s, early 2000s,
then
I
no.
think.
Definitely not.
I think.
Tim Raines.
No.
No.
Go for it. What's the multiple choice?
Multiple choice. Honus Wagner, Ty Cobb, Lou Brock, or Sam Crawford.
You said it was early 80s.
Yeah, so that's the
90s.
first one.
He said early 80s or 90s. You mean 1800s or 1900s?
Because Lou Brock and freaking
Yeah, Ty Cobb.
Well,
Ty Cobb
okay,
were
well,
freaking
so-
the 50s to 60s.
Yeah.
I'll have you look this up to see when he played. But the answer is Sam Crawford.
That was the first one, yeah.
That was Sam Crawford. When did he play? I thought he played for the Devil Rays. I don't know why.
That was Carl Crawford.
Wrong.
Wrong Crawford.
Wrong Crawford.
Sam Crawford. Oh my goodness.
1800.
He was born in 1880. He died in 1968.
Damn, he was old.
Yeah, he died. He was
My
88
bad.
years old.
Okay, my bad.
How many triples were a stat back then?
Triples, yeah. Sam Crawford, most career triples. Didn't say how many though. No, you know that one.
He had 36 in 1912, and he was nicknamed Chief Wilson. 36 triples. In 1912, he had the next guy 31 triples in 1886 with Dave Orr. Nobody in the 1900s has even gotten close.
No.
The Kansas City Royals had 79 as a team in 79. So yeah, bro. Curtis Granderson had 23 in 2007. So think about that.
Curtis Granderson, how many?
He had 23 in
Oh, my
2007.
God.
So he wasn't even close. Well, I mean, he was what 13 shy, but still.
Let's see if Sabrina knows this one.
Which
Which
one?
coach has the most wins in NBA history?
Yeah, I already know that one.
What's the Lakers coach's name?
Okay,
Or
you're
it
wrong.
was.
You're
Reed?
wrong.
Which one?
Wasn't it Reed or what was the other
No,
name?
she's thinking about Phil
You
Jackson.
think about?
Phil Jackson, that guy.
Probably.
No?
No.
Damn. Okay. I don't know. It's not ours. It's not the first.
No,
Not Pop.
it's
Yes.
Pop.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's
Pop.
Pop?
Yeah.
Wow.
Greg Pop.
He just
So
passed.
who did he pass?
Doug Nelson. Donnie Nelson.
Oh, Nelson. I'm over here thinking, but you know what? I was thinking Red Auerbach, but that's
I was thinking Red
championships.
Auerbach, but I thought it was the other guy that used to coach the Hawks.
Was it
Lenny
Wilkins?
Lenny
No.
Wilkes? Lenny Wilkins?
Yeah, Nelson, or what was his name?
Well, Don Nelson coached the Golden State.
Golden State
It
Warriors,
was
yeah.
Don Nelson though, but I thought it was
He passed Lenny Wilkins at first.
Lenny
Wilkins,
Wilkins.
that's
That's
what-
what.
Lenny
Yeah,
Wilkins.
that's what I was thinking of.
But it was
no.
he passed Don Nelson for the
Okay,
most.
so it was Greg
damn.
Popovich, but he
Yeah.
passed.
So I was
Don
thinking
Nelson.
Auerbach, but Auerbach had the most championships. Yeah.
Yes. How old was Mike Tyson when he became the youngest man ever to win a heavyweight boxing title?
Was he a teenager?
Wasn't he 18?
Was he 18? Okay, 17?
No.
Oh, wait, heavyweight?
Mm-hmm.
19.
I thought 18.
21.
No, it wasn't 21. It had to have been 18 or 20.
20.
Yeah, I was close.
So I was like, I knew, but you know what? He started fighting when he was 18, but it was 20.
So he had
yeah.
been boxing at least a year or two.
Yeah, 2 years
before he
when
got
he-
to
yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
I mean, it was on the street, but I don't know if you consider it boxing.
He was fighting.
I was beating the shit out of people so bad. I was beating them so bad. My bad. Let's see what else do they have here. I'm gonna throw this one out at you, even though y'all don't even know. What country won the first FIFA World Cup in 1930?
I'm going to say Italy.
Spain.
Just throw a
Greece?
country, just throw a country out there.
Greece.
No, that's
Greece.
Olympics. No. Uruguay.
What the hell?
But Italy was one of the options, but no.
Okay.
Okay, let me see what else I
Yeah,
can find real
she was
quick.
closer
Hold
than
on,
us.
hold on. Yeah, she was. Okay, so here's a weird one. What bizarre item do Detroit Red Wings fans throw on the ice for good luck?
Octopus.
Tortillas.
That's Texas Tech.
No, that's Texas Tech.
That's Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, and that's at their football games.
Yes.
Okay.
It's octopus, right?
It's octopus, right?
F them pew pews.
Like actual dead octopus?
Yeah, they
squid?
get an octopus and they throw it on.
So there's a fish market or something. I think that's nearby, and that's what they take to the.
They
but-
even have
Did you
this.
say Detroit?
Detroit. They even have this huge like octopus hanging in the.
But
Speaking of, did
when
y'all see what's
when
going
did
on
they
over
throw it?
Beginning of the game, no?
That's
I think it's
disgusting.
beginning of the game
Oh,
because they
okay.
can't do it. I don't think it's like
Like after a certain
after a goal or something. I
That
think they
must
do it
suck
before
to
the
clean
game.
up. I feel so bad for the people that have to clean that up.
No, they
but
just scoop it.
also,
They just scoop it.
hearts go out to them. They're like in
What
the
the
middle of like a super crazy like climate
Oh,
thing
Detroit.
going. Yeah,
The
weird.
the
climate
thing in the
change.
street with
Yeah,
the
they
cars.
had, like, a
So it
blizzard.
snowed
The
first.
ice?
It snowed
And then
first,
they had a flood.
and then they had a flood.
What-
like
okay.
a monsoon type flood. Like it just came out of nowhere and it just completely
That
wiped
is
them out.
crazy.
Was it rain? Or
It-
was like
it was- I
did a
think it
dam
was-
break or
No, it
something
was.
like
It was
that?
rain.
I think it was rain, but it was like monsoon type rain, like nonstop. Once it started, it didn't stop, and then there was nowhere for it to go because it was already ice, like
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
a thick layer of
And
ice.
so everything just kind of.
And now it's iced over, so now it's stuck and thick, like 4 feet.
So
five
all the
feet.
cars are
Yeah.
stuck in the
Yes.
streets.
I mean, dude, they're talking about all these houses that are damaged,
That's
like
crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
The ocean finally fought back from them throwing all those damn squids. They said, "Take that."
Suckers. Okay, a couple more. How many minutes are in each quarter of an Olympic men's basketball game?
How many what?
How many minutes?
in each quarter?
10.
In men's Olympic basketball?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know this is different.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not.
Because in NBA, it's 12?
12.
Yes.
I have to say 10. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 10.
It's 10.
Yeah, because I remember Steve Kerr saying to the team, did y'all see the gold, the on Netflix, something Court of Gold?
Oh, not yet.
Oh, I
So
haven't
he's
seen it.
giving the speech to the guys, and he's telling them,
Just 10 minutes.
it's going to be hard to play all you guys in 40 minutes. So there's
Yeah.
10 minutes
Oh,
per
so
quarter.
that's why Jason Tatum didn't play.
Yeah. No, he said, there's going to be a couple of y'all that aren't going to play at all in a game.
Yeah, but
That's
you do not
crazy.
play. You do not play Jason Tatum. Man. Come on, man.
Yeah, something's going on. Oh.
But he didn't play Embiid in one game, too.
Okay. This is an interesting one, but I want to see if y'all happen to know it. What is Usain Bolt's record time for the 100-meter sprint, which he set in 2009?
1.8.
In 100 meters.
I'm just throwing it out.
Damn! That race was over fast. Very fast.
What's a typical run?
It's got to be 9.
10 seconds.
10
So-
seconds.
Okay, then
think
8. I say 8.1. That's my final offer.
All right. I say it was 9.7.
I said it's 9 something. I think it's like 9, like 9.8, 9.8.
9.58.
Damn. 9.58.
Hey, I had
He
an 8
ran
in there.
100 meters.
Damn that. He's fast. That is fast.
You can say it. You know people. You can
I
say
know
it. You know
people.
people.
You have family.
Your friends.
family.
Yeah.
You can say
Terrible.
it.
I hate when people say that.
Okay.
that boy fast.
All right, last one. I think y'all know it.
He's so fast. He made fast people look not so fast.
I think y'all know it, but let's see. In which Winter Olympics did the miracle on ice occur, where the U.S. hockey team defeated the Soviet Union?
And what was it?
Which Winter Olympics?
Which Winter Olympics?
It was Winter Olympics because it was
Yeah.
the ice hockey.
So like what year?
Yes.
It was 80.
Year and place.
I'm out of this one. I'm sure it was before I was born.
Oh, yeah,
it was
you
before
were
born. Yes.
You were just a
I
twinkle.
want to say it was
in-
1980. It wasn't in Russia because they played Russia.
Well, that doesn't mean they're going to play in Russia, but
I was gonna
it
say
True,
wasn't.
but I
Russia.
didn't think
It wasn't Russia.
1980.
Was it here?
No. Was it?
No, I don't think we would have this Winter Olympics here because we got no winter.
We do have the Winter Olympics here. We
Where?
had it in freaking
Colorado?
Yeah, we had one in Colorado and we had one in
Colorado.
yeah, we had didn't we have a winter? No, I mean that's not when we had. That's not when that one was.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying we've had a Winter
never-
Olympics.
Well, we haven't had it in Colorado. We've had it in Utah. We've had it in Utah. Yes.
Yeah, we did have it in Utah.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't Colorado then.
No, not Colorado.
Uh,
Well, you got the year right.
so 1980. I remember that.
It's got to be here. No.
But what was the name of the city?
It was in the U.S.
It was in the U.S.
Oh shit.
Detroit?
Was it New York?
Final answers?
Lake Placid.
Lake Placid.
What?
So there has been a Winter Olympics in New York, and it was Lake Placid. And the only reason I remember that is because of the freaking
The movie.
The movie.
Yeah.
So
Placid.
it was the Miracle on Ice.
Yes.
They weren't supposed to win, but they did win.
Yeah, they beat Russia.
Russia.
Well,
in the okay.
Well, it was the Soviet Union.
that was it was Soviet Union, but a lot of people always think that it was the final, which it wasn't. It,
It
was
wasn't.
actually the semifinal.
Correct.
Oh, it was
And they
the-
went on to beat Finland or Sweden in the
in the
final.
final.
and
okay,
they ended up
so
winning.
now it was here in the States that game.
Lake Placid,
Yes.
New York. yeah.
Okay. 2 years ago in the Summer Olympics was the basketball gold medal game.
Yes, and it was France.
No, it was USA and Russia, where USA won, but they
And
added
they-
time on the clock.
And they took it away.
And it took it away. That's when USA didn't go receive their gold medals because
Right.
they got.
And
So
they
is that
still
like
have-
That was a
Kind of
stick it
a-
back to him.
stick it back. Yeah.
Hey.
And I've seen the documentaries they have about it. They still haven't picked them up.
No,
Nobody's
actually.
ever gone to get them. They still have them. That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, anyway, I just wanted to end that on a lighter note. Get us a little sports. The USA is playing right now. It's 1-1.
Oh, they tied it.
Yeah,
Yep.
they just tied it.
All right,
between
so
USA and Canada.
I'm looking it up here. United States has hosted the Winter Olympics in Lake Placid, New York,
Lake Placid.
in 1932 and 1980. They also hosted it in Squaw Valley,
Hosted
California. Hosted it in
I'm
Squaw
kidding. I'm
Valley,
sorry, I'm
California in 1960.
Really? Squaw Valley.
And then they hosted it in Salt Lake City in
Salt Lake
2002.
City. Yes. Okay. Wow.
And they're going to host it again in Salt Lake City in 2034.
Damn, it's a long ways.
Next year, well, the next couple of years, actually, it's going to be crazy because next year, no, actually, yeah, next year,
Yeah, Los
26. The World Cup's going to be here
True.
in North America.
Yes.
Not it's Canada, USA, and Mexico.
Yeah.
But then the Summer Olympics are going to be back here
in
too.
Los
LA,
Angeles.
And
Yeah.
they started saying that we do not have the capability with all these fucking air things that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
That should make you think,
No,
you
but
know,
the-
because
the
they're saying that we don't have the capability to handle that.
The Summer Olympics, they won't be until 28.
Yes,
I
2028.
thought it was 26.
No, 2026 is no, because we just had it in 2024.
Yeah. So every 4 years.
It's every 4 years.
So the Winter Olympics should be in 2026 next
Yes.
year.
Okay, then. Well, they might have talked about that too, because I guess the infrastructure. I mean, that's getting really deep into it.
Well,
But
yeah.
apparently
they
they're
were talking
saying.
about like the cycling. That's going to be difficult to do.
but
They're gonna have to
but,
close
but
down
I mean,
cities.
think about like everything that's going on now. Like they have a year to fix it because, I mean,
Oh,
you have
but-
national teams going to be flying from New York to to California, California to Mexico, Mexico to Canada. Like anyway,
Yeah, I don't know. It's a.
I should have brought that up when we were talking about the planes, but yeah. But anyway,
Well, the one thing I do know is they're not gonna have breakdancing in 2028.
thank the fucking Lord.
Yeah, Australia fucked that up, everybody.
How you gonna have breakdancing and not baseball, dude? Jeez.
Nuts.
These nuts. Well, the Winter Olympics is gonna go back to having NHL players,
Yeah.
which they didn't have for. a
Well,
time.
they had done away with
But I really.
because they were taking
Well-
the basketball approach, which they were using all college players. And
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying like. I think they should just go back to having amateurs
in all
in all the Olympics. Because back then, some of the dreams, not everybody's dream, but some of the dreams were like, well, I want to go play in the Olympics. I want to
Yeah.
play basketball in the Olympics.
I wanna
you
fight.
know.
I
And then
wanna-
all of a sudden, they're
whatever.
like, Dream Team.
Yeah,
And
but
then
the
from
dream
that
team.
point-
If you look at it, the dream team isn't rolling over everybody the way they did in 90.
But think about it
96.
though. When we talk about the European players, like
Yeah.
like a couple of weeks ago or last week, whatever, these college kids weren't comparing to these, European players, and that's why they
That's what they're gonna
changed
be.
it.
Yeah, that's why.
That's
Yeah,
why they
got
you know,
they got
they-
embarrassed.
They were
got
embarrassed.
embarrassed in. So it was 92 that the dream team, the first one.
Yes.
In 88, they got embarrassed.
How old were you in '92?
I was one,
One.
depending on the time of year.
Yes, she was one. Because it was the Summer Olympics and she was already
Holy
born.
I was
Nikes! God.
Yeah, and that's when Jordan and everybody, the dream team came out and they demolished everybody.
See, was I wrong in saying that the early '90s was the Bulls' time?
Yeah,
no,
you're right.
I was in
You're
the
right.
wron.
You just had the
Wrong.
wrong sport.
Yeah,
Completely wrong sport. But I knew something. Okay?
Touchdown.
So yeah, so in '88 they were embarrassed,
Yeah.
and so that's why they decided to
And that's
bring
why
the
they
dream
did
team
it.
out.
And
But
that's
I
why
mean, if
they
you
did
think
it.
about it now, like when you see the players when they talk to the players from, and if you see that court of gold, they're not just following USA, they're following all the teams. So they're talking to the French team, they're talking to the Canadian team, the Serbian team. All of them are like nobody fears the US anymore.
Yeah. Oh fuck no.
They all have players that are I mean, you look at the NBA. The NBA is full of players from not the U.S. Right? You have Serbian players. You got Canadian players. What's his name? The dude from, the one that played with Denver, the point guard.
Jokic?
Okay, so Jokic is from Serbia, but the point guard, not Morris. What's his name?
Murray.
Murray.
Canada.
So Murray's from Canada,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
SGA from
Canada.
he's from Canada. Like they have good players now. You know, I mean France freaking has Wemby. They got
That's Steve Nash's fault in fucking Canada.
yeah.
Everybody wants to be like him.
Yep. So nobody fears the U.S. in basketball anymore. It's a closer game. They're winning by 4. They're winning by 6 now, right? They're not blowing people out. But I think the hockey's gonna be. Then why have the 4 nations
Yeah.
thing going on? You know what I mean?
Well, just to bring up a quick point on that sneakers, sneakers and what is it called? Sneakers and cleats. That other podcast, which is I gotta admit, that's a pretty good podcast. I like I said, I don't listen to very many podcasts, but I've been listening to that one, and they've been bringing up really good points. There should take what the NHL is doing, and the NBA should do it. Baseball can do it too. They have people from all over the world.
Yeah.
They should look into doing that type of thing, you know, because it makes it competitive. I'm talking about the All-Star weekend stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, they're doing this instead of having an All-Star break, basically. That's why they did this. So they're doing the 4 nations in hockey. So they're saying, well, why not do it in basketball? It was a good point by Giannis.
Well,
to
I
do,
mean,
world against
as much as
USA.
I hate Stephen A, he brought that up, and even freaking Yes Man next to Stephen A, freaking
Yes.
Tooth McGee over there. They did bring up point. They were like, it's an embarrassment what the NBA is doing right now with the All Star Weekend, right?
Boring.
I mean, you go back to when Jordan was there and Kobe was there. It was competitive. Maybe not as competitive still, but it was still more competitive than what it is now. So I agree. Maybe change it up to do a European versus U.S. thing.
Or world.
Or
I
world,
mean,
you know what I mean? Yeah, U.S. versus the world. Whatever it is, I think they need to do that, but make it competitive. I mean, you see the World Baseball Classic, dude.
That
They're
was...
throwing at each other and they're trying to fight.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? You look at hockey right now, the 4 nations, they're fighting. So I
Checks
think
are harder.
Yeah, I think they need to.
It's
change it
not basketball is not it's not competitive not because it's not competitive because the players don't make it competitive.
Right.
Well, yeah, LeBron did that.
There's no...
Yeah, LeBron did that.
Fuck that asshole,
Yeah,
man.
but you know what? But they also brought up. But you look at the NFL, the same thing with the Pro Bowl. They had to go to freaking flag football and
didn't
2
have
hand
to.
touch.
They
They didn't have to, but they did because, well, because somebody decided to take out a punter one time.
But the punter got up and freaking
And gave him a
good shot.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I mean,
I don't
that's
know.
the game.
It is, bro.
I mean,
I
that's
mean-
the game. Like, why change it because of that? It's an all-star. That's why they're
You know why I think they changed the NBA? When Kobe went up against LeBron and he told him, "I'm gonna cover you. You're not gonna score," and he freaking shut him down in the All-Star game. And I think
and they didn't want to see that.
They didn't wanna see that.
But
They didn't wanna see the
I
golden
also
boy.
don't want to see 400 points
yeah,
on the board. I mean,
yeah.
anyway, I think we're done because we're
We
just,
made this into
we're running out of tape. But any thoughts? Any closing words? Cranky, shot girl, nothing.
Nothing.
Just gonna
Nothing.
touchdown. Oh God! All right, man. All right, thanks for listening. We'll talk to y'all later.
Peace.